All right, everyone, it's time for what's probably the final Styxhexenhammer garden update of the fall season. You know, it's been very unseasonably warm. We have a fuzzy friend in here, which hopefully we can focus on there. Please don't eat the garlic. I know they don't eat garlic. Anyway, this is all garlic. I'm gonna split it all up and make some rows of it and then put hay on the top. I'm going to the farm later with my sister and her family, so I'm gonna get a bale of hay. I know straw is better, but it doesn't really matter. You just sort of tussle it up and put it on top, you know, pin it in if you have to. We do get a lot of wind here, especially if it's dry. So this is pretty much all gonna be garlic, I think, in the spring. And I tasted one of the bulbs. Oh God, it was great. This one I finished. As you can see, I did bring the bed in. I wanted more room here along the side, and I've done that. And I don't know what I'll plant there. I'm thinking probably collards, I guess. This one looks nice, doesn't it? This is the slightly medieval style garden, and what we do with this is also wood underneath, buried about 6 inches down, and that just degrades over time, and it adds to the soil. That soil was still nice and black and granular even without any further amendment. I've mixed it around, and you can see it's pretty good. And that's actually a coir and perlite mix with some compost. That'll actually puff up when it rains, I think. It's dehydrated soil, so that'll fill in, probably raise about an inch. It's gonna look nice. That's the herb bed. This back bed is gonna be brought out a little bit more here, roughly in line with the Viking bed here. So about another foot. And I'm not gonna touch the milkweed because there might be monarch butterfly caterpillars or chrysalli on them still. I haven't checked. And it'll probably expand so a little bit that way. And this will be for corn and peas and stuff. I got to get some more soil. That's not quite enough for it. I think I'll need 3 more bags. It doesn't need to be perfect soil, but you want to amend it. What I'm going to do here is that there'll be a little bit of an open space back here, maybe. As I've been going along, I've been digging out bricks from where the old garden barrier used to be. There's still a million of them under there. And this whole center area, again, with a path maybe 3 feet wide along the edge, ending in the dittany, that's going to be a bed just for perennials. There'll be hostas, horseradish and stuff. That'll extend all the way about to here. Some of this horseradish in the spring, I'm just going to dig it out and use it, and the rest I'll thin out. I'll plant it all around. And then, roughly about here, there'll be a bed roughly commensurate with this one, and it's about as wide. And then over here, this patchy area will be like this, but longer. And I might be able to fit, depending on how I format this, I think I can, one last bed in the corner. Probably like that bed, so it won't need a border or anything. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. Now let's see briefly the back garden. And I'm going to mulch everything in the paths, just like before. I don't know if I'll use that red mulch or if I'll just use leaf debris hay, whatever I can get at. Maybe I'll just put out a Craigslist ad, say, hey, you've got leaves and I've got problems. So not just mental ones either. I'm going to be expanding the garden too. There's room for about 4 more beds for what I have planned. All this stuff is doing fine. Again, this back bed's been cleared. There is still some witchgrass you can see trying to come up from roots. I will go through that one more time with the fork, and got some Russian sage, echinacea. Never grown those before successfully, so we'll see what happens. Asparagus, irises, my centerpiece sumac. When that gets a bit bigger, that'll be nice. They're not a long-lived plant, but if I keep the suckers and stuff trimmed back, it should get pretty robust. Thinking about in the future maybe putting something else in there. I mean, there's this apple tree here. I could move that in, I suppose, but I don't know if it would like being under all those other trees so close. So yeah, probably the final garden update of the year. What a difference that amount of work makes. That side's basically completely done, again, other than mulching and, you know, doing stuff in spring, putting the hay on the beds, of course. And then I've got to start in on the rest of it. And then again, what I plan to do here is that path will be about that wide still, and then have another set of 2 beds here. Now that those blackberries are gone, I want to expand the garden out about that far. Have another couple of rows, and I might expand it that way. The only limitation is the power line I have to be careful of, but I should be able to squeeze in 1 3-foot wide bed or so. I might be able to do that. We'll see what happens. I'm happy with it so far. I didn't expect to get any of this accomplished. I expected to do the back bed and not have the energy to do the rest, but yeah, I've been productive, as you can see. That's about all. Peace out.